Now, I want you to imagine earning over $10,000 a month selling fiction novels from home as a complete beginner. I personally did this and made $2.3 million. I had no experience. I knew nothing about anything. I literally Googled how to make money on the internet and was able to start this. And within a year, I was doing about $20,000 a month. So in this video, I'm going to show you how complete beginners are able to grow a real business that can actually earn $10,000 a month. Stay tuned. Now, my name is Roy Lewis. I'm co-owner of a company called Fiction Profits Academy. We've taught over 15,000 people how to do exactly what I'm going to show you in this video. Other than that, I'm just a guy who started making money on the internet, and now I teach other people how to make money on the internet. Now, why you should listen to me? Well, I've done over $2.3 million. Not just pie in the sky. You can actually see my earnings on the screen here. And we have a track record of showing people how to do this. But I'm going to just tell you right now, let me just go ahead and save you the next 15, 20 minutes, however the hell long this video is. If you're somebody who thinks you're just going to push a few buttons and find this magic cure, it's not going to happen. There's no get rich quick. None of these people that are showing you anything online are going to make you a millionaire without doing work. Now, I want you to look at your own job that you have right now and ask yourself the simple question. How long did it take you to become an expert at your current career? The answer is probably something like 6 months, maybe a year, maybe 5 years. I would say this, for publishers, I find that 6 months is a good estimate for people who are actually putting in the work. Now, if you think about it in that regard, taking 6 months to actually become an expert at something is not that far-fetched. I would argue that's actually pretty good. After a year, you're going to be a badass. And what I think is realistic for complete beginners that are getting into this space in particular, which is fiction novels and Kindle publishing, I think giving yourself a year to learn how to grow a business that earns $10,000 a month is reasonable. Now you're asking yourself, what about profit? So what we typically say is you're going to be able to create a $10,000 a month business with a 50% return on investment, meaning if you spend $5,000 in product creation, you earn about $5,000 in profit. That's respectable. Now, here's the truth. You can do a lot more than that. I just can't look you in the eye and say, oh, you're going to do huge numbers. Now, I personally was doing, at the 1 year mark, I was actually making about $60,000 a month. I was spending like $25,000 to $30,000 a month in expenses. That's not realistic for most people. It is if you say like, I'm going to work 80 hours a week and I'm going to figure this shit out. I believe you, okay? You can do it. You tell me you can do it, I believe it, all right? But probably not realistic if you're not going to put in the work. If you're going to put in the work, I can responsibly tell you, yes, creating a $10,000 a month business, I've seen it done many times. Now, let's quickly recap what is Kindle Direct Publishing. We call it KDP. Now, KDP is the world's largest ebook seller. It's basically Amazon. Most people, I don't know, most people may or may not know this, but Amazon started as a online bookstore. So Kindle Direct Publishing is the largest ebook seller. If you go and Google this, it's somewhere between like 80 to 90% of the market that they own. If you're going to start a business selling ebooks as a form of online business, it has to be on Amazon. Now, there's debates whether you should do Kindle Direct Publishing, which basically means they pay you per the amount of words that people read. It's a little complex, don't worry about it. It's just basically like, if you publish on all the other platforms, they call it going wide, and that means that people pay you for the actual cost of the book. So if the book is $2.99, Amazon will take a little piece of that, like 30%, and then you get the rest. If you do KDP, people pay this monthly subscription of like $9 or $10 a month, and then Amazon pays you for the amount of pages people read. Now, why would you do that model? Here's the thing. If you learn how to do this business the right way, which is not some hacky shit, okay? We actually create real books. For our students, we give them a ton of done-for-you resources that tells their writer exactly how to write, how many words per chapter, what types of hooks to use, how to end chapters and cliffhangers, all this stuff, okay? We give them what we call the secret writing formula, and it helps ensure that you get a book that people actually want to read. The key to making money with KDP is to keep the reader engaged long enough to get through the book. That's the big secret. You just create a good book. So we like to use KDP. We've found that to be the most successful method. We don't claim to know everything about publishing. We're pretty damn good, but for us, we like KDP. It's a debatable thing. Now, when you go down this rabbit hole of investigating how to make money with books on Amazon, you're gonna find two different methods. One is selling nonfiction. Now, to the best of my knowledge, we are actually the only people that teach fiction, and for the life of me, I can't understand why. Let me tell you a little story about how I started selling nonfiction and how I lost my ass selling nonfiction. When we analyze the Amazon top 100 charts, which basically tells you what do people like to read the most. See, you only want to sell what people actually want to read. When we do our analysis, we found that 91% of books in the Amazon top 100 all-time charts are fiction novels, only 9%. Yet all programs teach nonfiction. Now think about that. Does that really make sense? If you were to go into a space and you said, you know what, I want to be successful selling shit, are you going to choose only what's 9% of the market? Or are you going to choose 91%? Somebody come and prove me wrong. Like, I would like to know. So, like many people out there, I bought 3 programs on how to publish nonfiction books. I did 50 nonfiction books in my first 6 months. I want to say I spent like $30,000 to $40,000 that I didn't have. I did it on effing credit cards. So I did the nonfiction thing. I think I made like, I don't even remember. It was like $4,000 or $5,000 a month. I learned a very hard lesson about doing nonfiction. Now, are there people that are successful? Yes. I actually know people who are millionaires doing nonfiction. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it doesn't work. It works. I think it's hard. I mean, who the hell wants to write a stockbroker's book if you don't know shit about stockbroking? Do you really want to take responsibility for doing dog training books and you don't know anything about dogs? You know, the cool thing about nonfiction is that you sell a fiction story and it's just a make-believe story. You're not endangering people with your writing. You can write whatever the hell you want. Matter of fact, the wilder the idea, the better the fiction novel usually does. Now, the reason people get scared with fiction novels is they say, well, I know nothing about storytelling. You don't have to. You can just Google what to write about on the internet. You'll find a ton of shit. Nowadays, you can ask ChatGPT on helping you create a story and you'll get a great story idea. For our students, we just tell them what to write about. We just take the guesswork right out of it. We give you the shit to write about. Writing fiction, in my opinion, and speaking from personal experience from someone who invested, like, I want to say it was like $40,000 at a loss. Nonfiction sucks. Go learn that lesson for yourself. I dare you. All right. So anyway, that's why we do fiction novels. Now let's talk about selling fiction ebooks and who this is for. Obviously, I think it's for complete beginners because I was a complete beginner. Now, speaking from personal experience and my business partner, Carla Marie, see here on the screen, we both got started the same exact way. Guess what? We've done 15,000 students. They all get started the same exact way. It's usually some shit happens in your life. For me personally, it was my daughter asking if we could afford to go out to dinner tomorrow night. Carla was a stressed out freaking waitress and doing yoga teaching and everything else. We all have a similar story. We were tired of being broke. And we sit down and we Google how to make money on the internet. And for me personally, back in the day in 2016 when I started, I came across a guy. He showed the 5 different ways to make money online. And most people will tell you that selling ebooks is typically the least amount of monthly costs and the lowest cost for entry skill-wise to get into. It's going to require a little bit of cost, but typically speaking, you can know absolutely nothing about writing, covers, editing, none of that, because you just hire people to do all that work. Therefore, it makes it the easiest to get into. And then literally getting started is once you have the book created, you upload it to Amazon, you do a few marketing tactics that we mostly show people. And if you want to turn on ads, you can do even better. That comes later down the road, but it's literally that easy to get started. That's why we believe that doing ebooks on Amazon is the best thing for complete beginners to get started in online business. And here's the cool thing. Once you have it up and running, it's 3 to 5 hours a week. And that's not an exaggeration. I'm not saying like, oh, that's how much time it's going to take you right up front. No, you're going to need to put in the work to learn it. But once you learn it, it's 3 to 5 hours a week. That may take 6 months. That may take a year. I can't tell you where you're at and your aptitude for learning. But once you have it down, yes, 3 to 5 hours a week, maybe 10 hours a week to have a business that can genuinely make you 6 figures. It's incredible. All right, now I'm going to break down for you the steps to actually getting started, because you're literally going to be like, that's it, really, it's too simple. Yes, don't overcomplicate this. It's this simple. It's literally step number 1, you create a KDP account. It's actually free to upload and create a KDP account. It couldn't be any more simple. Like, you could literally upload a Word doc to Amazon and it'll be self-published on Amazon. I know, it's kind of stupid. So step number 2 is you choose a niche. And for our students, we tell them, and I'm gonna just give you the hacks real quick. We believe it's romance, mystery, paranormal, teen and young adult. There's many sub niches in that, and you can Google and find out all you want to know, but those are the most profitable niches. Most new people choose romance, although I think romance is overrated personally. The reason people choose romance, 49% of the charts is romance novels. So again, like we were talking about, if you want to make money in something, you don't try to reinvent the wheel, you do what successful people are doing. If most of the charts are romance, that's the one that most people usually go into. It's okay. I don't personally like it. There's other niches that are more profitable. Now, once you've chosen your niche and your sub niche, you go and you hire a ghostwriter. Now, there are a ton of ways to do this. We usually recommend people do it through Upwork because you can keep your costs low. You can also go to ghostwriting services. We usually send people somewhere like The Urban Writer, and we get a discount for our existing students, and they usually go that route. That is going to cost you more money, but it takes away a lot of the work. I mean, you literally just upload your content to them and they create the book for you. They do everything. It's pretty cool. Next, you get a cover made. Some people make covers themselves, especially now with AI. They'll make AI images. They'll go on Canva. This will require some skill. You can learn it with YouTube. I don't recommend it for our students personally because I would rather spend my time with my family than trying to learn stuff that I'm not good at. But you can do it. It will take work. Or you can spend anywhere from $20 to $50 on a cheap cover. Sometimes people like to spend anywhere from $100 to $200 if they want a better cover. There's really a lot of options and it's up to you, but it's pretty seamless. So at this point, you now have your niche picked out. You've gone and you've gotten a writer to write about the book. Now, I'm gonna give you a bonus tip right here because you're probably wondering, like, all this sounds good, but what do I actually tell them to write about? Guys, here's the cool thing about fiction. You ready? The writers write the content for you. In the first year, I literally made $1 million, and I'm not exaggerating. I literally made over $1 million, and I knew nothing about story ideas. Like now I know a ton about story ideas, but it was so easy to get started. I literally took a book from the bestsellers and said, hey, this book looks really good. I like this blurb. Can you make me a plot like this? And she goes, makes plot. And I'm like, let's write it. And she wrote it. It's that easy to get started. That's literally the direction. We actually give them a lot more direction now because we actually have a software that helps us with story ideas and create stuff in accordance with our program. But the truth is, you can do it without that. All right. I'm not guaranteeing that's going to work for you. That's how I did it. It was pretty easy. Now let's get into what everybody really wants to hear, which is how the hell do you make money with it? I'm just going to give you the answer because here's the deal. I can give you all the advice. It doesn't matter. If you don't do the work, it's not going to work. So the way we do it is we use sites like BookClicker and BookFunnel to actually do newsletter promotions with other offers. And here's how you get free traffic. This is why you're able to sell your book for free in the beginning. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. Once you're making $1,000 to $2,000 a month reoccurring revenue, you're going to want to go ahead and turn on some ads because once you learn how to master ads, you don't have to do any of the goofy shit in the beginning. You don't have to do newsletter swaps. You don't even have to do reviews hardly. If you know how to do ads and your books are good, you can just turn on ads. People will organically want to read your book because that's what happens. As you become a better publisher, your books get better and you just make more money. It really is that simple, guys. Like we're so busy trying to figure out hacks and tips and tricks. It's just write a fucking good book. In the beginning, though, let me just tell you, the way you do it is you use these sites, and there's a minimal cost to be a member of these sites. You pay like $20-$30 a month. You meet other authors doing promos. There's literally like a tab where it does free promotions. And it works like this. They say, hey, I'll send you to my email list if you send my book to your email list, and you might sell 20 copies to this author, 30 copies to this author. Next thing you know, you line up enough of these, and you're doing maybe $500 to $1,000 a month. It's not going to make you uber rich doing it this way, but it is a way for you to get started, get your feet wet, and kind of find out that it works. That's how we recommend all new people get started. Now, I'm just going to give you the quick rundown. This is the thing that you've all been waiting for, which is how to grow this to $10,000 a month. I'm just going to give you the exact strategy. A lot of people hold shit back. Here it is. You ready? We start you out doing 30,000 word books to keep your costs low. In the beginning, you might spend anywhere from $400 to $1,000 a month creating books, and we recommend that you do one a month. You grow that to where it's making you about $500 to $1,000 a month profit. That will take you 3 to 4 months. By month 6, you're going to see that it's starting to work, and hopefully by that point, you're doing anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000 a month revenue. From there, we simply teach you how to turn on Facebook ads. And guys, don't let this stuff scare you. Creating an online business is very easy. I knew nothing about editing. I knew nothing about writing. I knew nothing about good stories. I knew nothing about books. I don't even like to read. I'm like, read? What the fuck is that? You don't have to know any of that. In time, do you really not think that you could do something? If you focus on something every day obsessively, do you actually not think you can do it? You can do it. If my ass can do it, all right, you can do it. That's the rule. If there's somebody making $1 million doing something, then you can make $1 million doing something. I'm telling you. And don't listen to your broke ass parents or your broke ass neighbors. If you want to learn how to make $1 million, don't take advice from people who haven't made $1 million. I'm telling you, you can do it. Anyway, let me stop ranting. All right, so back to it. By month 6, my hope is that you're making anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 a month. This means that you are pounding the pavement. You're putting out books every month. You're studying the charts. You're obsessed with quality. You're trying to figure it out. At that point, you start doing advertising. And here's the cool part, guys. Here's the big secret. When you turn on ads, it's very simple. If your books are good enough, it will allow you to do ads. Once you start running Facebook ads, you can literally scale as large as you want. Most people at this point, it's mental. They're so scared. But here's the thing. If you turn on Facebook ads and it doesn't take off within 2 or 3 days, you'll just turn them off. You're not going to lose hardly anything. You can literally do anywhere from $20 to $50 a day. And that will help you grow to where you're making $50 to $100 a day profit. And from there, spending $100 a day is nothing. And then you'll be making $100 a day profit. That's $3,000 a month. And from there, you'll learn how to do $150. And from there, you're making $4,500 a month. Then you're spending $200 to $300 a day and you're making $200 to $300 a day. It's literally that simple, and it starts to escalate. It grows exponentially. And here's the big secret. Once you learn how to make 10 grand a month, which means you're spending maybe $4,000 to $5,000 a month in ads, you literally grab yourself by the bootstrap, you have a little conversation with yourself and you say, stop being scared. Let's turn on the fountain. Let's up the ads. And you start spending $10,000 a month in ads and you make $20,000 a month. That's how publishing works. Everybody you see in the charts, that's what they're doing. Most people in the Amazon charts are publishers just like me. They have someone like me doing the marketing. They're not writers. They're just not. They're expert marketers, and you can do it too. Now, I just want to tell you about some common mistakes. So number one mistake that people make is they just stop. This is what I see all the time. People will put out 3 and maybe 4 books, and they're going to be like, oh, I didn't make $1 million. It's like, guys, what have you ever done that was brand new that you were good at? That's like thinking that you're going to go out and play golf and you played 5 rounds and you're not a scratch golfer. Like, who the hell are you? Like, you got to put in your time. You may fail 10 times. You heard me tell you that I failed like 40 book launches. That is not an exaggeration. I failed a ton. Now, here's the cool thing that I didn't tell you. When I switched to fiction novels, and again, at this point, I was a very experienced publisher. When I switched to fiction novels, it was by my 5th book, I was making like $5,000, $6,000 a month. I mean, it happened within a 3-month period. It literally took me 3 months of doing fiction novels and I was up. I'm not guaranteeing that that's going to happen for you. Again, I had a lot of experience at this point. I knew things like uploading books, keyword research, understanding tropes. I had all this experience about publishing, but fiction was like, it wasn't just easy compared to nonfiction. It was exponentially easy. It was like, holy shit, like nonfiction was a 1, fiction was a 10. I mean, the gap wasn't even, like, I don't get it. When people are telling me they're doing nonfiction, I'm like, okay, I guess. Now, let me tell you another common mistake. If you start going and Googling making money with Amazon and ebooks, you're going to start reading a ton of failed people, because here's the truth, guys. First off, most people don't even do the training. Most people don't put in the work. Most people fail once or twice and give up. The only people that leave reviews on the internet are people that are pissed off. Think about it. The only people that leave reviews on the internet or take the time to write arguments are disgruntled people. People that are having a good time, they don't give a shit. People that are having a good time can't be bothered with going and logging into a fucking website to write a review about anything. So don't believe the hype. If you're going and researching things, if you want to find something to support negativity, you're going to find it. If you want to be successful, you need to get your mind right. You need to understand that you can do anything you want to if you put in the work. That's the truth. Don't listen to dumbasses. There's a ton of them out there. I can show you 50 people who are making $1 million a year doing publishing. If they can do it, you can do it. All right, guys, I hope you found this video useful. Go ahead and subscribe. We try to drop content. We don't want anything from you. Obviously, if you want to join our program, you can. But this video is just really meant to help you and educate people about publishing. See you in the next video.